Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night show. It is your favorite power team, your favorite podcast, myself and Dr. Real. We are definitely in the building tonight
Yeah.
on this very, very cold Wednesday, windy night. So, we just want to say if this is your first time rocking with us, welcome. Because we already know that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be right here with us. So, again, if you guys don't know who we are, we would like to go ahead and formally introduce ourselves. I go by the name of Kesha Kesh.
And I'm your boy, Dr. Real, Mr. Motivational. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about. And this your first time here. Where the hell you been?
I know, right?
Where the hell you been? Let's go.
I don't know where they've been, but I'm going to tell you where everybody else been. They've been in the stores buying all the food, taking up all the food. This ain't even one of our topics, but I do want to say all the hog maws, pig feet, all the pig feet, all the everything. Are y'all cooking tonight is what I want to know, because the food is, the biscuits gone, Dr. Real. There's no more biscuits in the store. Now, I don't know if they planned on cooking breakfast tonight. He said losing their minds in the stores buying all the wine and beer. They're just trying to get drunk. If y'all want to get drunk and just have a reason to celebrate, just say that. But as far as y'all buying all the food up, this is what's going to happen. Have y'all ever considered the fact that you're buying up all the food? What if the power does go out? If the power goes out, the food is going to ruin. What the hell y'all buying all the food for?
Kesha, what I think it is they having PTSD from last year. Because so many people were not prepared so many people were unprepared last year that they're over preparing this year. Because I was talking to people at Kroger and they said they're having a biscuit shortage, which had me laughing. Something like they got a biscuit shortage.
They got a biscuit and the crescent rolls are gone.
Biscuit shortage. What
yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Now I know biscuits goes with the breakfast, and breakfast is supposed to keep you full all day. Maybe that's the thought process. I don't know, but I was thinking, like, are they making casseroles? Like, what is it that they're making that they need all the damn biscuits for? I'm confused.
These folks are shopping like we're gonna be locked in the house, folks. I mean, I've seen people with grocery carts that's overflowing. Like somebody said, it's free SNAP day. Come in here and everybody got SNAP benefits because everybody's baskets was overflowing. And I'm like, dang, can I get some?
I just seen a post where a guy, he had probably about 45 packs of chickens, and he had to get a cart, not a basket. He had to. It's like they gave him all of the chickens that was left in the bag. And I'm like, well, maybe he was trying to feed the homeless or something like that. Because who the hell he taking all this chicken to? You know, I understand it is the sun coming back out tomorrow.
It's supposed to be cold up until Friday. And the highs are like in the 20s.
Cold and the sun is two different things. What I'm trying to say is, what they think is going to happen is just, y'all, come on now, Texas.
But the sun come out and the high on 21, that sun ain't going to make much of a difference. If it's 21 degrees, it ain't going to make a difference. The sun out now.
It ain't going to make a difference.
Now it's 21 degrees outside. That's still below freezing.
Well, I'm sorry, y'all. That wasn't even a topic, but the stores are empty. And I just want to be the person to speak to the people that's probably out there right now standing in line to get in the store, or you're at the red light. Just go ahead and turn around, baby, because they took all the biscuits, all the crescent rolls, all the hog maws, all the bread.
No eggs.
There's nothing left. So I'm trying to save you guys the trip and that's it. You know.
Exactly.
So moving on. I'm sorry. We got a lot of topics, y'all, but that right there was something that we actually wanted to kind of just kind of happened. It just kind of happened. So let's get into our first topic. I think we should. Yes. This one is going to be about something that's happening in the NFL. Y'all know how we are about the sports and things of that nature.
Oh, yeah.
Is there someone versus the NFL? Is there a lawsuit going on, Dr. Real?
Yeah, the former coach of the Miami Dolphins, his name is Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
He was recently terminated by the team probably about a month ago. Even though he had 2 winning seasons in a row for a team that's been sorry since 2001, he had a decent run, but they let him go. And then he was going for an interview with the New York Giants when the coach from the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, texted him and said, "Congratulations on getting the job." He was like, "Wow, how did you find out that already when I haven't even interviewed for the job yet?" So another dude named Brian, which if ladies and men, y'all have similar names in your phone, you need to know who you're texting.
Wait a minute.
He texted wrong Brian.
Okay.
So they already gave the job to another Brian, and Brian Flores hadn't even had an opportunity to apply for the job. See, NFL has a thing called a Rooney Rule. And what that rule entails is you have to interview at least 2 minority candidates before you can fill the job. But what a lot of NFL teams are doing, they're just checking the box. They're interviewing 2 black candidates when they already know they have someone they really want to choose. But see, Cash, this ain't even the good part yet. He's suing the Broncos and he's suing the Giants and the NFL. The Broncos gave him an interview, I think, in 2019, and he alleged they came to the interview drunk or hungover from the night before. So they were late and kind of like hurrying up, let's get this thing done, with basically not showing any kind of professionalism or not really caring about the interview. So basically, like, we was doing this just as a formality because we have to.
But can he do that?
Can he do what?
So
yes, he can, because that's like this. Imagine you go to an interview and an HR person come in, you can tell they've been out all night long at the Snooty Fox, and they're unprofessional, not even really giving you a true interview. They're just running through the thing like basically let's get this done because we got better things to do. And then the third thing, the biggest thing that hit bomb he dropped on this lawsuit is his owner, Stephen Ross from the Miami Dolphins, allegedly offered him $100,000 per game to basically not win. You hear me? This owner.
Say that slow. What'd you just say?
This owner was allegedly going to give this man, Brian Flores, $100,000 per game that he lost intentionally, so they can get a better draft pick. That's when everybody was trying to get the quarterback they have now, Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama, when they drafted him 2 seasons ago. There's a whole thing the Dolphins fans are hollering tank for Tua rather. And he was really trying to pay this man to not only give his integrity up, not only to make his record losing. Like, your resume is your resume. So if he would have said, yeah, let's do that, not only is he, like I said, he's short-checking his integrity, he's sitting here messing his resume up on top of that. Who's going to hire a coach who has a losing record? Nobody don't want to do that. So I just couldn't believe when I heard he's giving that man.
That's neat.
So I'm going to sit here. This man spent 18 years doing all the grunt work, all the hard work, all the dirty jobs to get to a place to be a head coach. And this man, this owner, is going to sit here and offer him $100,000, which he's making more than as a head coach already. But you're going to sit here and have this man put his whole life on the line. He's been doing this his whole life for a measly $100,000 per game to lose. So he basically he never in the NFL. You got a losing record. Your chance is already stacked, and the fact that he's a minority, he's double stacked. So the point I'm making, and it pissed me off, folks. So you will hear me on my soapbox here right now. This thing it's huge for him, because if he goes through this lawsuit, he probably can kiss his NFL career goodbye. He'll be just like Kurt Flood was for baseball when he went in to do free agency in 1974, and he never played baseball again. He sacrificed his career so others could run. And I believe Brian Flores is in the same boat, because you're going against the NFL, the most popular sport in North America. I feel like this is my personal opinion. I feel like he's sacrificing himself again so others like him can run. And it's sad that it's happening because it used to be 6 black coaches in the NFL. Now there's 1, and that's Mike Tomlin, aka Omar Epps in Pittsburgh. That's it. They fired the last 2. The one in the Texans, they fired him, and then they fired Brian Flores. What are your thoughts, Cassie? Talk to me.
You know what? I'm trying to sit here and think about the whole picture of, like, you're saying his career will be ruined, but will it really be ruined? Is it even worth it? Somebody talking to him, somebody doing the math on this. You know what I'm saying? I think he's getting some type of advice or legal advice that is making him feel that this is definitely worth it. Like, I didn't even know all the details in reference of where this all even stemmed from. But that's tough.
Look at Kaepernick. He risked his career to stand up for the racism and the inequalities in this country, and he has not started for another NFL team again.
He haven't started the NFL team, but what about?
He hasn't played for any football team since, and that's my point.
I think I'm trying to figure out, like, the success. Like, NFL players, you know, usually they're young and they get to a certain age and, you know, things happen, but it's a younger version of what we would say as far as retirement or whatever the case may be. So they get to a point to where they're wanting to enjoy family anyways, family, traveling, having more kids, raising kids. But I don't know. This is a tough one.
But just think, a football player starts around 8 years old. You spend your entire life to get to the NFL. I believe this man, and if he's doing it, it's because he knows. Man, he probably got enough money. I don't know. I'll copy pockets, but I'm assuming
that's what I'm saying. It's a risk.
He's made the money that he needs to do this, but he is. You know, there are other openings, and he's in line for the Saints job, and I believe 2 others that are still open. But he has made himself radioactive by bringing a lawsuit against the NFL. That makes you radioactive. Nobody's gonna want to touch him, and if he does get a job, it's gonna look like they give it to him to shush him. If he does get a job right now in his character,
I don't think I know enough background on his family. I mean his financial, his upcoming, his circle, because to me, that's a lot that he's putting on the line.
He's tired of it. I mean, somebody gonna have to be the person that says, you know what, I don't care what happens to me, but this has to happen. Because I mean, this is not only happening in the NFL. This is corporate America. We got to work twice as hard to get the same job that someone don't look like me does. We get paid less than they do, and this is the same. It's been happening forever. Because I'm gonna just be 100%. We'll never be on equal footing in this country. Y'all need to forget that. It's never going to happen, ever. I personally wish that Abraham Lincoln would have survived his assassination so he could have went through his real plan, which was to send us back home to Africa. That was the plan. That once
but when you say it like that,
he was on a boat and send us back. And I truly wish that would have happened, because as my great grandmother told me a million times, integration is the worst thing that has ever happened to Black people. And I truly believe that. The worst thing that has ever happened to us is integrating. We had a lot of things on our own in our segregated communities. We had hospitals. You had Black Wall Street. They destroyed that because we were doing better than them. And there's atrocities all over the place like Black Wall Street. That's just the one everybody knows, but it happened all over the country. We will be better. We would have been better, and I still believe that, if we would have stayed with us. Even Martin Luther King came to that realization close to his death, that he felt that he led us into a burning house. Mic drop, soapbox off. I'm just saying. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Tired of it.
They coming for us tonight. Look, I can see the faces right now in the comments.
Listen,
they gonna
Mitch McConnell said we ain't even citizens. This is your one of your long-term senators from Kentucky that sat there in a press conference and said we're not even citizens. This man is making our laws, and we're not citizens.
Right.
Y'all better wake up, man. Like, there's some people who don't like the fact that we free still. We've been free for a long time. And there's some people who want things to go back the way they used to be. I support the brother Flores. I hate that I feel he's sacrificing what he's fought for his life again so others can run. I really feel that's what he's doing, because they blackballed Kaepernick until the public kind of got on enough to where they realized, yeah, we were wrong. But by then, his career was over in football. He may do other things, but you haven't seen Kaepernick do anything public besides the Nike deal he got with them. But you haven't seen him on ESPN. You haven't seen him on NFL Network. You haven't seen him anywhere close to the NFL, because once you go against the giant, against the king, you better not miss. I'm telling you, my man, I think he's done as far as coaching. They too powerful.
That's deep.
Too powerful.
You know, I don't know. I think the world is just so different from, we can give our opinions about things based on how things used to be. Even when it comes to standing together as a union, standing in full force to make changes, but everybody's on every side of the track at this point. It's really all for self, to be honest. And then, even though it's all for self, there's still some people that you would have thought that was on this side of the track. They ain't even on this side of the track. They're on that side because of multiple reasons. Times just have changed. People have changed. And the things that's benefiting some people nowadays is forcing them on a side of a track that we would not have seen these people on this side of the track. If you follow me, I'm trying to give as much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Because I ain't trying to go to Facebook jail or none of that, but I do want to talk about the realness of what's really going on. It ain't like it used to be. Like we can't. It's not. It is not the same. It is not the same.
It's just different for this side of freedom that we see and say we have all the time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But more power to them. I will update this topic as more information comes along.
Yes, please.
What's probably going to happen is the NFL slick. They're probably going to take this into the CBA they have, the collective bargaining agreement, and they're probably going to go to arbitration to where nothing can be leaked out about the findings for that. Because how can he come out with a statement saying there's no merit to what he said, and you haven't done an investigation yet?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
How can you say there's no merit and you ain't investigated nothing? You all said it's all allegations and misunderstandings.
I think we need to
tell me you give me $100,000 some games. There's some misunderstanding about that. There's so many implications to that. These players don't know that they're out here losing on purpose. If you're gambling, now the NFL's in bed with Vegas with the gambling and everything.
But some people always say that though. How many people you get a lot of people saying how games are thrown and how this extra stuff behind the scenes is happening throughout the season. It's a lot. I think you need to keep us updated on that. And even if we don't go into a long outdrawn, topic about it every time, we get on here, even if we can get a snippet of it, because
it's important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
And some people is probably not on right now too. May go back and watch the replay. I'm kind of interested in their side, their thought process behind it. See, somebody's saying something right now. Hold on. It's Damien. He has to fight 32 owners with deep pockets with his little boy money. We will see how this goes. You see what I'm saying? Like but it's a reason. He got something in his back pocket. I know we saying little boy pockets, but his pocket's really little.
Comparing,
you know what I'm saying?
They real little. Keep it all.
So he got
compared to NFL. They small.
It's little. Okay. It's just weird. I'm trying to think it all the way through.
It's real
But
quick.
thanks for your comment.
It's like falling in Walmart and you taking your little lawyer with the plaid suit against Walmart's entire legal team. They may set out of court, but you ain't gonna get what you're trying to get from Walmart. Because Walmart gonna fight you, tell you can't pay your lawyer no more. NFL, I'll tell you, they're gonna take you to arbitration because they don't want the truth to come out.
Walmart got that money.
It's gonna be secret.
Walmart got all money.
Then it's public record.
Yeah. I get it. I feel you. Good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing your comment as well, Damien. And thanks for rocking with us and tuning in with us tonight. Like we mentioned earlier, we do have some really good topics and a lot to get into. So let's continue to get into it. One of the things is Nick Cannon is having baby number 8. Now, we were just talking about Nick Cannon last month. Was it 2 weeks? Last month, I think. Because he was mourning the death of his baby, the son, right? They had his baby boy was fighting a battle of cancer, like a tumor or something, and he passed away. And then he makes a grand announcement that he is having another baby. He just made this announcement the other day. Now, here's the thing. I don't care how much money Nick Cannon has. It's still not, it ain't cute. I don't know what type of example he's trying to set. I don't know what he's teaching his kids. Like, he's having all these kids even by multiple women. Mm-hmm. It's for what? And he went into details to talk about how he loves kids and all his kids are treated special. You know, no one is treated different from the other. But I'm a visual person, and all I see is him just slanging meat. Sorry, y'all. He's slanging meat everywhere, and I'm looking at the next woman being excited to grab a piece of it. Like, why? Like, you got to know the visual of it because he's having freaking kids. It's stupid. What the hell is he doing?
Personally, I think he got a pregnancy kink. Some people have a thing about pregnant women. Now, I think he has a kink. I don't think he's going to build no nation, or like he said before, build no damn village. I think he has a pregnancy kink, and he's creating a whole bunch of single moms because you can't be everywhere with all them kids. So,
see, that's my point. That's what needs to be spoke about, because I think a lot of people are looking at Nick like, well, hell, he can afford to take care of him. He got money, but it does not eliminate the fact that these kids are still being raised up in different homes and they still being left with their mama. I'm not saying that he's not an active father and, going to financially take care of the kids, but they're all in different places. Now, I seen a clip of his dad. His dad was saying something about, he did teach his kids to, multiply, all this crazy stuff. Like, it didn't make no sense to me what he was saying. But what I'm saying is that his family is not against it. It seems like the way that they were brought up is to continue to, as long as you got, breath in your body, if you can make kids, it's a good thing. It's not something that's looked at or frowned upon. But damn, he having kids by multiple different women. This ain't nothing cute about it to me. I'm sorry.
I think him, Future, Lil Wayne, and I think they all have a pregnancy kink. I think they just enjoy seeing women pregnant. That is a thing. But
you know what? And I know this probably isn't fair to say. I know it's not probably fair to say, and I get that. But when I hear those names, when you call it out, that is supposedly attractive in the rap industry. You got Lil Wayne, that's attractive to some women or fellas, looking at Lil Wayne like, oh, he a rapper, he out here, he got all the chicks and whatever. Or same thing with Future. But Nick Cannon was he's a different caliber of a man, supposedly. And it's not an attractive, and it's not a good look on him, period. And it's not, I don't care how he try to dress it up and make it real. It is not.
Some of them think that's an 18-year bag. I mean, I could think of better ways to make money than to sit here and lay up and have a kid, and that's basically your ticket to financially being stable. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, money ain't gonna raise that kid. And there's a lot of single moms that got babies by some dudes that may not be successful like that, but they take care of the kid monetarily, but they're not able to give them that father presence. You know what I mean? So
and it's going to cause an issue
financially, but and materially, but they're not getting that emotional and physical love that they should have, and mental, love they should have. I can't speak. I don't know what he's doing. Can't say that, but you can't be 8 places at one time. Is my point. In a way.
Exactly. Again, Nick Cannon, if you're listening, which you're probably not, get fixed. Get that taken care of.
Literally, you are wilding out.
Definitely wilding out. It ain't cute at all. I was like, damn, put it up, throw it away. Like, ain't nobody. It ain't even. It's just stupid. It's stupid. Yeah, but moving on, I have something I want to talk about as well, because I wanted to discuss, because we talk about it from time to time when it comes to dating, these websites, when it comes to the difference of how it used to be, the old school way, when you can go find places to meet people. So I saw something that was interesting, and I was like, okay, I want to talk about this when we come back live. And it was about places, the best places. So ladies, I hope you guys, or your girls, I hope y'all are listening. And I want the fellas to chime in too. So if you are a fella and you like, yeah, I heard that list, but that ain't where you'll find me at, or you ain't, that don't even sound right. Chime in and throw some extra stuff in that may be missing from the list, because y'all know how this go. It's kind of like when what's that game show and they get the votes from people but it's a different caliber of people, and it's not the things that we would have picked. Like it could be something of that nature. So here we go. One of the places where you would meet an established man, like this is supposedly a man that got his stuff together. He got his stuff together. It ain't just he out hanging out looking for a woman just to be kicking it. It's like, meaning he's pretty much well established. One of the places that the list says is the cigar lounge. What are your thoughts on that one, Dr. Real? They're saying you will meet a successful, or not even successful, but established men are found in a cigar lounge.
I can see that. A nice wine bar that has those exclusive cigars that cost a little grip to get. I can see that.
Okay. I can see it too, because what typically happens is that when you think about a man that's established and they're in an element of a cigar lounge, they're typically talk. Like they're discussing things that made them successful, or their next business plan, or, just amongst people that actually like having the same type of conversations that they have. I think that's one of the good ones on the list. But you said like bars and happy hours. That it's kind of falls into the same thing, but that is the second thing that's on here. It says upscale bars and happy hour.
Yeah, they ain't the reason why they ain't going there.
What was it again?
They ain't going to the Dewdrop or the Snooty Fox where Ray and Day didn't go. You're not gonna find them in there.
Yes, and I wanted to elaborate on that too, because when I saw upscale bars and happy hour, to me it set a tone that established people, they got a schedule. Pretty much like I might can be out here doing these hours of the day to chit chat, network or whatever the case may be, and chop it up for a minute. But after happy hour, I got to go home, because I have to game plan, or either I have to continue to check off the list of these goals that I already set for today, and I got to go to sleep, because I have to get up in the morning to do exactly the same thing that I just did. And it's a schedule with them. So it doesn't mean that they don't hang out and they don't go to places. It just means that they don't hang out at the same time in the same places that other people do. Right. And some people, they would try to refer to those people like they're square. Oh yeah, they just got a different kind of establishment that they are used to being a part of. So you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if you're really out here doing like major deals and stuff, like I alluded to with the like that last thing we talked about, last topic about the Broncos coming in the day of that man's interview hungover. You really wouldn't expect that from people in that level of life to come into something of that situation like that. So most people, if they doing well, they probably at the house by 8. If that.
Right. That is true. So, ladies, if you're paying attention while you're trying to put on your get 'em girl and your freak 'em girl dress, and you're going out at 10 o'clock at night, you're probably going to track exactly what's hanging out at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And you miss the established man that was at happy hour at the upscale bar buying the shots.
I mean, but to kind of, Kevin Sane was made as high value man topic, name, and label. You know, I hate generalization. I can't stand it. I can't. I hate passion. You can be a high value man. What makes you high value? Because you got a great job and money? Because for me, that only makes you part of being a high value person. What about your ethics? What about your moral code? Because to me, that's going to last a lot longer than your bank account when it comes to getting a relationship with a person. That money only goes so far. So I take issue with the high value man when it only, or woman too, when it only relates to the monetary part.
Right. And I think that that's why I think the wording here was very intriguing to me, because the word was used as established. Usually people that are established, to me, when I read that, is more just it talked more about discipline versus monetary things. Okay. Because the things where these places where these men are supposedly found, you got to have some type of discipline about yourself to be there. And another one on the list is a golf resort. Golfers, you're not really at the wee hours of the night in those places. The other, well, it may be because they got that cheddar.
Because green fees cost. If you know about golf, green fees cost a lot. So.
And the gym is on the list also. So we mentioned the cigar lounge, upscale bars and happy hour, golf resorts, and the gym. And because supposedly a man that understands discipline and established men, they care about their physical, their health, and those things. And I guess that's why the gym is on the list. That doesn't fall into the monetary side of it, saying I got money, so I got a gym membership, but it just kind of, to me, speaks more so to the discipline and the established, the way that man could possibly be established.
But they ain't going to Planet Fitness, believe that. They going to a gym.
It don't say where.
Trust me.
I can't give you all that, ladies. It don't say where, but it does have gym on there. So if you are one and you taking a shortcut out, and you know you might be getting your body done or whatever, you ain't gonna see them there. You're gonna see them at the gym. So that's the thing that's on the list. I think that was a pretty fair list. What you think?
It was a good list. I mean, that's a good starting point.
Okay.
A good starting point. I mean, cigar bar for sure. I can see that, because a lot of people that are well off, they go there because they, like I said, if they smoking certain cigars, they cost some money to get those cigars. And they're smoking those.
But you know what? It's a good networking place, because when I used to do real estate, when I first started doing real estate, how I met the owner of the mortgage company I was working for was at a cigar lounge. He was sitting there in the cigar lounge, and he had a section. And I didn't know who he was, but he was, smoking his cigar, and there was a couple ladies over there in the section, but there was some guys in the section too. And I was listening to some of the conversation. So I just started chatting as well, and we exchanged business cards or whatever. And that's how I started working at his mortgage company, because he was at the cigar lounge talking mortgage and money. So I can say I have witnessed, the conversations are just different. And I'm not saying that a cigar lounge have to be the place for everybody that's tuned in, but I can say if you begin to put yourself in a room that's different from rooms that you're usually putting yourselves in, the conversation is definitely different. It may not even be intriguing to you, which means that may not be your cup of tea and what you want to do, but definitely conversations are different depending on what rooms, you step in.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I think that was a pretty good one. Yeah. We also have something on here that's not exactly the list of things like where it comes to where to find women, because the thing about it is it's and I'm gonna give y'all this nugget. Women usually put themselves in situations to be approached. So that doesn't mean that they're actually going to be in the place where typically the same way we gave this quote out about how to, find established men, because women are usually too busy trying to figure out where the men are going to be. So they're trying to put themselves there. The men usually ain't trying to figure out where the women is going to be, because they know that the women going to follow. If you know that the men are going to be in a large room or something's going on, the men seem to already know the women going to come anyway. Mm-hmm. The women are the ones usually busy trying to figure out where to put themselves. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that, Dr. Real? Is that
I mean, when you find those more upscale women, like just look at the Real Housewives and all those upscale women, they're gonna be where the upscale people are at. Just be real. They're gonna find a way to put themselves there. If it's an upscale nightclub, you can damn sure know they're gonna know the bouncer. They're gonna know the guy letting people in. They're gonna make sure their name on that list. They're gonna make sure their face is familiar. I mean, there's people that are professionals at that. They know where the Dallas Cowboys hang out in Dallas. Trust me, they know what steakhouse they do. Go to. They know what nights that they don't have practice on their off day. They know where they go to have fun.
They do. I know a woman, and I swear to God, true story. She used to go to the practice field of where the Cowboys practice at, because she didn't live too far from there. And I asked her, I was like, so why do you go sit? She was like, because why wouldn't I go? Like the odds are, if you're going to be in the presence of where the Dallas Cowboys are practicing at, the only chance I'm up against is getting maybe one of the Dallas Cowboys that I didn't want, but I'm definitely gonna get a Dallas Cowboy because that's the only thing there. I was like, what?
That's logic. That's logic.
That's what she said. She said she would go dress up and sit out there and watch. And I was like, she was like, I can't lose.
Be seen.
Can't lose if I'm putting myself in a situation. I was like, damn. But there are so many women that think like that, and it sounds crazy when we're saying it out loud, but it is a goal for some women to know that is what they want to do. My daughter used to say that all the time. Now, she didn't accomplish that, but that's what she used to say. And I'm like, she had to hear this from somebody on TV, but she would always say that she's going to marry a professional basketball player. And I'm like, well, you got to, how? Like, I don't see you hanging around no basketball players. You got to be there. But that was her mindset. And it just goes to show that women, men, everybody have these type of realistic conversations because they have these goals and they'll put themselves in the situation to get it. And I've seen some people be successful and do it. It's crazy.
That's their job. They know everything about everybody, what they need to be. That's literally their job.
So. Crazy. But you know what? This is what the list said when it came to women. Now it doesn't talk about where you will find them, but it did say the things that 6 things successful women have in common. And I kind of looked at the list. I'm like, I can agree to that because I can. It's not a real difficult list. It's something that's. I was like, okay. Some of the things that women do in that category, they have habits of self-improvement. Women that are successful, they want to always self-improve. They're either reading something, they're taking a class, taking a course. They're doing something to improve self because they acknowledge the fact that they have things that they have not achieved and they still have some work. They're not shy about knowing that they got some improvement to work on themselves. Successful women, they're just going to do that. Not only that, they don't apologize for what they want. So those are the ones that probably come off as y'all, alpha, whatever. but it's like they're not apologetic because they understand the things that they deserve or the things that they've been instilling in themselves that they deserve, and they're not going to apologize for what they wanted. They feel like they deserve it. They're going to go get it. They contemplate on the right things to eat. Now, I ain't saying that they eat the right things, but it's like they're knowledgeable of doing the things that eating the things that they should not be eating. So they contemplate. They try to come up with these diets, or they'll say that and I'm giving y'all these hints, men. If you're dealing with a woman and you're hearing some of the things that I'm saying, it's really to help you understand that person that you're possibly dealing with versus being like, well, she tripping, she crazy or whatever. But people have these things that, that fits the description of what I'm saying. And it's important for certain people to understand it if that's the person that you're dealing with. But they contemplate about the right things they're supposed to. Now they take chances. You got some women that's just like dead straight by the books. Like, I ain't trying this, I ain't trying that, I'm gonna mess up. Successful women are gamblers. They take chances because they really have a high level of thinking that they can achieve anything. They don't really think they're going to lose anyway. So they're willing to take that chance. So they're gamblers. They're not afraid to be themselves. They're the ones that if they're in a room full of people and they're new, they may be respectful, but they may not know those people, but they're not going to not be who they are. They feel that it's their truth. They're not going to shy away. They're not going to be quiet. They're going to just be who they are. And last but not least, they spend money on their appearance. And I'm not saying spend money like they're label whores or whatever you guys want to call it, or they everything has to be name brand or those things, but they have this thing about themselves that they've been taught or that they are trying to practice, that they are a walking billboard, and they feel that they represent their brand or whatever it is that they're trying to actually establish. So it's very important to them, when I say their appearance, to make sure that they're presentable, and they'll spend money on it, and it's not a thing of just, like I said, name brand or making sure everything is labeled a certain way. It's just more so to say, this is an important factor of what I'm representing. My body is my temple, or my body. They have a really, really strong care for their appearance and what they look like. What are your thoughts on that list, Dr. Real?
It sounds very similar to the one where you just listed about the men. Honestly, they really could be interchangeable. Because you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you're not healthy, what good is it to you?
Right, right.
Yeah, you can afford all the best medicine, the best doctors, but if you're sick, you're sick. So it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, most people that do are successful care about their appearance because that's the first thing people see. So they want to make sure they got their teeth in the mouth. They want to make sure that they put their best foot forward, so to speak.
I agree.
Yeah, most people that are successful do read a lot. You hear a lot of people that are making money, and you ask them what TV shows they're watching. First thing they tell you, they don't watch TV. They don't have time for it because they're always doing A, B, or C. You hear a lot,
right?
You hear a lot of rappers like Cardi B says she don't watch TV because she don't have time, but she always in the studio or whatever it may be. You talk to other tycoons, they don't watch TV either because I heard one say they too busy making history to watch TV, which I like. Damn, okay, I hate it. And for me, the list is great. It makes perfect sense. Like I said, it's interchangeable. If you really are trying to get it, you're gonna make time for what's gonna help you get it.
Right.
If you're a person that is in the field of television, I think you're probably gonna watch some because you're gonna want to see what your competition is doing. It only makes sense.
Yep.
If you're a basketball player, you're gonna want to go scout the other basketball team to see what they're doing. You're gonna kind of be in the element you're supposed to be in. Is what I'm saying. So
agreed.
Great list.
I agree.
Both sets are great. I'm not. I will go to a cigar lounge to sip on some nice upscale cognac because that's that.
Yes.
that goes with the cigar. I'm not so much of a cigar fan because the taste lasts far too long in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that I would go there just like to keep, like you said, just to relax and have a conversation about how we're gonna be great.
Right.
Yes.
And it actually goes on in there. I can testify. It's really good. It's a different conversation from sitting in a group of people that's at a club in a VIP section or whatever booth talking about dancers or strippers or whatever the case may be versus what these guys are talking about. They talk about it is different. I've been in both settings on a consistent basis, and I can tell you it's different. It's totally different. But not knocking.
Not smoking no hookahs. You actually sit down, talking, making deals.
You are. And that is the difference too. Cigar lounges have music in it, but it's that mellow. It's a real different type of music versus when you're in a club, everybody's screaming. You can't even hear what each other's saying. You're whispering like, what? You can't even talk. Right. Totally different environment, totally different group of people, totally different conversations.
Exactly.
Woo, we're doing good tonight. Okay. Yes, Moving on. This is one I want to talk about, y'all, and it's still ongoing. It's rather needed. I just don't know. This lady was very, very successful. And when I read about this, I read bits and pieces, and I've been following up on it as well. But it's like, they're still just kind of just updating it a little bit. But it was Miss USA that she actually committed suicide. And she was depressed. She wore a lot of hats. She was like a host of some show. She was was she an attorney? They said. I think she was an attorney. She was well grounded, but I think she had a lot on her plate, and not only that, she was 30 years old. Sometimes we jump, like even with some of these athletes or, these people that are very, very successful at such a young age, and they carry on all this stuff, the stress, the burdens, and there's not really a lot of people to talk to about that stuff. They said that she left a note behind that she wanted everything to go to her mom, and she did have a therapist that she was seeing on a regular too, that she was, talking about to her stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something about that too. I really don't, and I could be wrong because I'm not a celebrity, but when I try to dip into the brain of like what I could imagine a conversation would be like when you are a celebrity and you're famous, it doesn't matter who you're speaking to, because they're admiring you from afar. Anyways, they're even though you're paying them possibly good money and you're doing these things, I think there's so much of sitting and admiring the fact that, dang, I'm sitting here talking to whoever this person is. And I really think it's hard for us, even a celebrity, to be genuine and kind of break down and feel that they're really getting the help that they need. I think it's more so of just knowing that, well, hey, I'm able to talk to somebody that don't really know me personally, but I don't think they really get the help. You follow what I'm saying? I don't think it's nobody that can really reach them like a regular person could be reached. And I think it's a struggle.
If any celebrities listen, I ain't licensed, but baby, come over here. I'm gonna give you the 100% real. I don't give a damn who you are, because and I'm saying that in all sincerity because I've been through depression. Depression doesn't care how much money you got, how pretty you are, how handsome you are, what kind of body you got, what kind of car you got, and what your area code is, your zip code is. It does not care, because you can take it off and walk out in the world. And I always say a smile is the most chameleon gesture that we have, because people hide a lot behind a smile. Like that commercial they have always is a commercial about depression, where they hold a smiling face up in front of the world, but behind that smile, they're devastated. And a lot of people are walking around like that right now because they don't want people asking what's wrong with you. Like, and then the first thing we will say about rich people, what you gotta be depressed about? You have everything you want.
Oh, what? No, those are the ones.
They don't have everything they want. There's a lot of people that got all the money in the world, that have They can get whatever they want, but they're empty inside. Because for one, if you get to that state in your life, a lot of times you can't even trust the people you're around no more, even the people you came up with. You don't know who really is there for you because of you, or they're there for you because of what you can afford and offer them. Even people even your mom and daddy, sisters and brothers, people change when that money change. And they just
right.
do. You know, then everybody's pulling you every which way, and maybe you're not able to control what you want to do. Or maybe it's a childhood trauma that you've never gotten past, that's still there, that every day you come home and you take that mask, that smile off, it's like, hey, what's up? We got dinner tonight, me and you, that depression. That's self-talk. So there's no therapist that can help you if you're not really going to sit there and lay it all out, for one. Yeah. You can tell that, well, a lot of people go to a therapist and tell them what they think the therapist want to hear. That's not helping you. You're paying people hundreds of dollars an hour to listen to you talk. Why not be transparent? That's why I say people worry about fame. Like Anthony Bourdain, this guy was a world-renowned chef. He traveled the world just eating. And you think that's a fabulous life, you would think. But he hung himself in a hotel in Paris. You would think this man had it. From what we see from our vantage point, he had it all. But that's nothing if you don't have love behind that all. That doesn't mean anything. Robin Williams was a damn comedian, funny as hell. Yes. Always joking. Killed himself because he was broken inside. Like y'all gotta stop thinking that material stuff heals everything, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. And that goes for people who work at 7-Eleven too. It doesn't matter what your job title is or what you do for a living. Depression affects a lot of people. And I'm sad she had to come to the point that she thought death was the only outcome for her to, I guess, to say, lack of better words, to feel better, to throw yourself off of a New York City building.
The 60th floor, I think, 60
and
something.
That was your last. That's what you feel would give you some relief. So you can imagine the demons that she had to have to go to that extremity to relieve herself of everything that was going on. I mean, you look at her, Wake Forest graduate. You go to Wake Forest Law School, you doing something. Because I seen an interview with her. She was talking about how she was, Harvard grads were going to that school with her. You're talking about like the cream of the crop. Like, you think you smart in high school, you were top of your class, and you're wherever you graduated from, you got the top of the class in all the schools in your class. So you were smarter than smart. You know what I mean? I watched her, I was like, damn, she was pretty. All the things that so many people go get facelifts and all this other stuff to replicate, she had that, and it still wasn't enough to cure whatever was going on. Like, people, I'm dead serious about this. Don't let it get to that point, because depression starts small. I don't want to take up this segment, catch it, but this means something to me personally because I've been there.
Yeah.
Depression starts small. And it does. It starts really small. But what we end up doing is we end up feeding it and feeding it and feeding it to the point it becomes overwhelming. And then when you go want to talk to somebody, the first thing that people will say to you, and I hate this, is what you got to be depressed about. I can have my health, I can have wealth, I can have all that crap. That still does not make me a candidate for depression. And we do that to our kids too. You only 12, what you got to be depressed about? You don't know what kids don't always express what's going on with them. You don't know what they're depressed about. So don't go. I made that mistake before. Don't go there. Don't go there that level telling your kid what you got to be depressed about just because they're young. Depression doesn't know no age level. Depression don't care what color you are, who you are. And then when somebody does come to you, don't go telling the whole damn family that so-and-so depressed or gossiping about them. That's why people, and I'm going to go to men. That's why we don't talk to nobody. Because we feel, honestly, men feel like nobody give a damn about how we feel, because we don't supposed to be sad. We don't supposed to be sad. We don't supposed to cry. We supposed to sit there and just thug it out.
You know what? Have you ever did a survey? Have you ever researched? Because we can research all day, like the different caliber of people, like we talk about mostly celebrities, dentists. I know a long time ago, like dentists, doctors, those people were on the higher end of the list that commit suicide because they were depressed and things like that. But do you think that the level of depression and suicide, is it higher coming from men or women?
I feel I can guarantee it's men.
You think so?
We don't have anybody to talk to. If you go talk to some men feel we go talk to our woman and we sit here and really like express it all, lay it all on the line. Some women, not all, will not look at you the same because we bought into these constructs and we teach our boys at such a young age. You don't supposed to cry. You don't supposed to show no emotion. What are you making that person to be, a damn robot? That's impossible because eventually it's going to get too much. You can't keep always suppressing stuff and pushing it down. It's no way because it has to come out somewhere, and it's going to. So, but for men, and I don't want to take nothing away from that young lady, but we really don't have anyone to talk to. We don't. We can talk to each other, but we don't say the same stuff. If you're not really a man who's in tune with themselves, you're going to say the same thing, man. Tough it out. It's all good, man. You good. You can be all right. No, I'm not, bro. That's why I'm telling you this. I'm not going to be all right. That's why I'm talking to you. There's a TikTok sound right now with this man, and he's like going in about, I'm sitting here fighting for everybody, but who's fighting for me? And I'm not a person that just doesn't cry naturally, but that broke me down in tears because I could feel that man pain. And knowing he ain't got nobody really that he can trust in his mind. He may do, but in his mind, he don't have nobody to talk to because we still have bought into these stupid ass societal constructs that we still hold on to. That by now we know is bullcrap. So for anybody,
but you know what? What are your thoughts on this too? I kind of feel as well. Now that and when I hear you say it, I could definitely say that's those are true things, true statements. But I can also add in to say, women are more vulnerable, and women rely on, you see it all the time. Women have male friends that they, depend on to talk to bounce ideas or talk to them about their, significant other or whomever. They have women because they're vulnerable. They just like to talk and they trust easily. Men do not trust that easily. And that means that some of those same groups, brotherhood groups, these different organizations and things that men could possibly join, I feel that a lot of men are in fear of doing that because they don't trust other men. So sometimes you could be in a situation to where you possibly may have a good pool of people you could talk to, but is it fair to say that the men have trust issues when it comes to other men? Mm-hmm. And it shortens your opportunities of being able to have somebody to talk to.
I mean, we don't trust, and I don't want to put everybody in the same bucket. That's not fair. But for the most part, men don't trust female or male because we don't want to be perceived as weak, because that's been drilled in your head since you old enough to understand it. But there's nothing weak about saying that you feel like you're broken. But you have to really trust, and again, you go back to that trust part. You have to trust your partner to be that vulnerable. And that's one thing that I think for our society, we suffer with being vulnerable because we're afraid of what someone's going to do with that when we are.
Yeah.
So
I could agree. Wow.
If y'all out there and you feel in a certain type of way, and I mean this with all sincerity, I don't even care about putting my personal phone number out there. If y'all need somebody to talk to, I'm willing to listen. And that's the key. Not try to give you a solution or tell you what you can do. You need someone that's going to listen.
Listen.
Because sometimes people are not talking to you for a solution. They just want to know that there's someone that can comprehend what they're saying to them. So,
yep.
please reach out. Don't get to the point where you feel like any of your life is the only solution you have, because I can promise you, whatever you're going through, you're not the first person to go through it. I can promise you that.
Not gonna be last.
You won't be the last, because there's nothing new under the sun. But find someone that you can be vulnerable with. We all need that person. Find them and just bear it out. If you have to keep repeating the same story a million times, it doesn't matter. We want you here. We don't need to hear any more people taking their lives, because it was Regina King's son 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You have people that celebrate a birthday and they kill themselves the next day. Man, he was just at the party smiling. The smile wasn't real, baby, because the eyes are the window to the soul. You got to be aware of the ones that are tinted. Those are the ones you can't read. And those are the ones you need to find.
Yes. That is, and I think this is something for us to talk about as well, because you know, with it being so tough for men to depend on, or, you know, trust other men, y'all, we're still talking about depression because we're still in a freaking pandemic. This world has changed so much within the last couple of years, and we have to find a way that we can find that soft spot, that sweet spot of, you know, first off, understanding who we are and accepting the fact of what we're possibly going through, and find a way to make it right. You know, but you got to have that person you trust. You got to, if you don't know who that person is right now, and you kicking in and hanging out with some people, you're going to have to grab you somebody that you trust, that you can trust to talk to, because it ain't going to get no better. It's not getting no better. And I'm not trying to speak negative stuff out there. I'm just saying that it's more things that's going to possibly happen. And I'd rather for us to be prepared than not be prepared and just get sucked through everything that's happening right now. We'll be reading about somebody else on a timeline tomorrow just because they couldn't handle, you know, all the stuff that's happening. I know we're running out of time. I know you usually have some quotes. I really want to hear them, Dr. Real. If we can get a couple minutes in to get those posts out if you have them.
Just real quickly, if you just ask about the suicide rate of men versus women, men are 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. 3.5.
That's
I can go in depth of why, but we ain't got enough time.
We can save it for next time, because we need to talk. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about that.
All right. So here are some words to live by. I think this is something definitely needed. It always ties in every doggone time. Things that I know that I've learned in my time on this earth. Don't call it a mistake, only to do it again. Don't spare my feelings, only to save yours.
Yeah.
Time will tell, as will your body language. Since you reap what you sow, don't be surprised by the weeds. Experience is always a good teacher. Some of us just don't take good notes or do our homework. Ooh. And lastly, people are like used cars. They might be pretty on the outside, but you damn well wear a check under the hood. I'm done.
Wow. Good stuff. Well, y'all, there you have it. It's been a really good show. We even went over tonight, but it's okay. It's good. You ain't got nowhere to go anyway, because it's cold outside, and they ate all the damn biscuits and stuff off the shelf. Ain't nothing in the store. So everything's gone. That's some great. But y'all, make sure y'all are watching us. We do have other shows. Excited about all the stuff that we have coming this year. So be on the lookout for the Mamapreneur podcast. Continue to rock with us as well here on our Wednesday nights that we're here. And also be on the lookout for Bree, because this month she will be doing 2 shows a month as well. And that's buying and selling with Bree. She got some tricks up her sleeve too that we was talking about. I'm ready to see it. So she got some stuff going on. But y'all know what we always say. We ain't got to go home, but we definitely got to get the hell up out of here, because that's just what we got to do. But y'all be safe out there. Stay warm. Be careful. And we will see you all next time. Peace.